Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have the extreme honor to have Mr. Ram Sareen amongst us today. Mr. Sareen is widely considered one of the top apparel specialists in the world. A true Indian by heart and a trainer by passion, Mr. Sareen himself sits on the board of many colleges worldwide. In his 47 years in the garment industry, he has worn hats as diverse as the business itself. In addition to being the top expert in bra manufacturing, he is also well versed in the complexities of men's suit tailoring and everything in between. His extensive and storied history can be characterized with one word: disruptive. In fact, his mantra has always been, change is constant, growth is optional. He founded Tukatech in 1995, the award-winning 2D pattern design software, automated marker-making software, 3D fashion design software, as well as garment plotters and automatic spreaders and cutters for production. Sir, I request you to please come up on the stage and deliver the keynote address. Please put your hands together for him.
Thank you. Thank you. Can we get this screen? Yeah, thank you. No, it's okay. Just, I'm from the factory, so I don't need microphones. We used to yell a lot in those days. We didn't have PA systems. Everybody can hear me? Yes. Good, good, good. Thank you for very kind words. My definition of experience, they say 47 years of experience. That means I've learned what not to do. I'm still learning what to do. So when an older person says to the younger ones, don't do it, they're not saying don't do it at all. They're saying the way you're suggesting, don't do it that way. Do it another way. Because I tell all the young people, you can't live long enough to make all your mistakes yourself. Might as well learn from somebody else's. As she mentioned, disruptive. Now, I'm from India. I was born here in Delhi. I didn't know I was disruptive. I realized when I was being interviewed that why I was thrown out of 7 schools before I finished my high school. I'm not joking. I was a nightmare for my parents. I just couldn't stand status quo. There's got to be another way. Why do you have to keep doing the same things? My mantra, change is constant, growth is optional. It's very simple. If we don't change, we stay exactly the same place. I ask everybody, whatever investment you've made in your business, in your life, whatever it is, for making every new investment, you look at the ROI, correct? ROI? Let's do an ROI. Without making any change, when will you go out of business? There is an ROI for that too. Because change is happening, whether it's the cost of material, labor, energy, and so on, and change is happening downwards towards the pricing and so on. Eventually, it doesn't even have to go bankruptcies. By not having the margin, you will eventually say, I hang my hat up. I have a small little video here and audio, but I want to talk about, I'm sorry. How many of you bought in the last 12 months? More than 70%. Did you not have it? Was it the first one? No, right? Why did you change it? Why in personal life you are enhancing your technologies for extra features? I just saw a few days ago, Apple launched the new i8 and i10 for $1,000, i10. There's a huge list. They haven't even put it in the market yet. But the waiting list is absolutely phenomenal. Nobody has ever seen a waiting list like that. Did we not have a smartphone? What is it that extra that we are looking for? That's the change, that's the spirit. We need to bring it in our business. What are we doing with the fabrics? Two things. we are trying to make sure that we have some kind of differentiator in the regular cotton fabric or whatever polyester fabric that we had. Today, if you look at the amount of, oh, I'm back on this one. So let me just go through my script a little bit. Lights, please. We talk about fashion business. Fashion business has too many challenges. If you really think about it, it's not that simple. It's a very complicated industry. But what does it start from? A, fit, and somebody has to approve that fit, or the look, or the garment. Correct? Yes? Oh, good. I'm just trying to be interactive, as interactive as possible. So the long and short-term future of technology in the apparel, technology will make everything you know today obsolete in 5 years. Everything that you know. As a matter of fact, I'm a technologist, and the technology that we install, implement, is already obsolete because we're already working on the new ones. The car you buy, the computer you buy, anything that you buy is already obsolete. So why are you buying an older model? Why aren't you looking at the latest one? Stand in the line to book the technology that is coming up. If you're not with it, somebody's going to leave you behind. Well, we all know that wearable technologies are out there, right? We know Fitbits and Google Glasses and so on that you've heard. But did you know that even companies like Coats, the thread companies, now they are making yarns which are actually fiber. It can communicate. The RFIDs in the yarn. So the technology is taking the same principles of manufacturing, but is taking it to the next level. So the buzzword about this, obviously the wearable technologies, the Fitbits, the glasses, the smartwatches are just the teasers. What happens when smart fabrics enable fashion to incorporate sensors that emit aromas? I can take a suit, I can go to the gym, and without having to take a shower, get back to work. I have a team, rather than being vigilant to see which player is getting tired to replace in a game of football or hockey, which is laborious. I don't know, I mean, I'm sorry. Cricket is not laborious, okay? So I need to know what's happening before the guy drops dead on the field. To get the vital signs, to get the feedback, what is happening with the pressure, with heart rate and fatigue level, all these are here. We call them wearable technologies. So what is it that we talk about disruption? I have a definition of disruption. Disruption used to be considered bad at one time. Today it's become a buzzword. Am I right? So what is disruption? Innovation. My definition is the theory that explains the phenomena by which an innovation transforms an existing market or sector by introducing simplicity, convenience, accessibility, and affordability, where complication and high cost are the status quo. It doesn't mean you gotta make it more difficult. It doesn't mean you have to make it less achievable, but simplify the process. So many of us, I walk around in the industry, are still working in the same way. That was about 100 years ago. Still working on the dummies. The fit is not a consideration. The tech packs and so on. It's because some of us are in that zone where a floppy drive is a wonderful, wonderful backup device. But when you talk to a little kid, he has never even seen one. The technology driven by the millennials, the younger people, is absolutely phenomenal. I have not seen such growth in the industry by the startup companies. I live in California. We get constant requests to get on the board of some or advisory or something else. So many times 5 years ago, I used to wonder, what is this kid is coming from Stanford and he wants to get in the fashion business? He's going to throw away investors' money or his parents' money. 5 years later, they are laughing at us because they are multi-million-dollar companies. They didn't have the baggage of how garment industry runs. They just looked at what they needed to get done and what technologies are available. And they took a route that actually it was unbelievable. You look around in the CAD rooms today, there are no old Master Gs sitting there. You look at the fashion being developed on the digital. These are all young people, college graduates, pretty computer savvy, not afraid to press the button or make it happen. So many of them don't even need training. They figured it out. That's what Apple and Microsoft did. And they're developing products. So I'm just going to look at a small little video. For so many old-timers, the virtual technology is still I don't know. But the little ones, the 20-year-olds, they wouldn't want it any other way because they can visualize, they can see it, there's no money in there. And look at the consumer. Consumer is looking at variations. They don't want to look exactly the same. So if I have what I call almost custom products to my taste, to my color, how am I going to deal with one-of-a-kinds and one-of-a-kinds and one-of-a-kinds? I'm so used to cutting so high, so many units. 2014, we wrote a paper and predicted that 2017 and 18 will be the most defining years for the apparel supply chain worldwide, from retail all the way to the manufacturers. And we're already seeing, I'm sure anybody's keeping up with the pace, what's happening in the US retail, UK retail, German, everybody out there, all the suppliers and supply chain in countries like India, Vietnam, China, they're all shivering, don't know where the industry is going. It's the biggest state of flux ever seen in the industry. Collaboration was not there. Everybody's talking in their own space. Everybody's interpreting, but the time is clicking. So speed has become one thing. We have internet, we have e-commerce. And e-commerce, a giant like Amazon, is kicking everybody's rear end right now. Now, what is their speed? One is their information. They have data, and they know how to mine the data. They know people who work with people in the supply chain, and they're tapping into those resources, combining with their data. I can't show the old way of making a whole garment, approving a fit, approving the design cycle, then do the photo shoot. By the time I put it on the website, it's already out of fashion. I'm catching that at the tail end. That's where the markdowns come in. The biggest factor right now is what we call demand manufacturing or macro factories. Macro factories growth is absolutely through the roof. You have no idea. It is not happening in the US or developed countries, happening here for domestic markets. We've done approximately 16 installations in the last 2 months in Pakistan alone for domestic market. I will cut, I will sew, I will make what somebody buys. I have zero samples, zero inventory, zero distribution, zero markdown. Yeah, I'll make one garment. I have a client in USA. 5 years ago, they were my pilot. It's a $50 million company. The company is called Voler.com. I'm sure many of you have seen the bikers. They generally go on the weekends. What is different about them? Because they're all wearing the same bike top and bike shorts, right? Visibly, Their sizes are different, their shapes are different, their bodies are different, so they're buying different sizes. Their graphics are different, their colorways are different. Now think of it from the manufacturer's point of view, designer's point of view. How many SKUs will I have to have? Just for the photo shoots. Then the inventory and so on. This company, everything that you see is a digital product. This product was never made. Google Analytics tells me which one people are looking at. If they're not, I replace it. It's a technology world out there. Small little video of a Pakistani company, and I'll end this one. Uh-oh, I don't have the sound here. Nine people company, 200,000 and only print-ready fabric, PFD goods. Digital design, digital print, social media, looking at what customers are wearing, what colors they like, having young people design colorways according to people's what they're wearing, what their body shapes are, wearing the borders, not the regular small medium large. CAD.
Which is now coming for very easy to understand. And then taking that to a final design stage, and then you cut in final garment, which is very accurate.
So,
and that's enabled us to come up with 100 styles without physically sampling till everything is approved.
technologies that we built was we make the
Once the market making is done, the file is transferred to print machine and we take out the print on fabric.
only on the covered
We
area.
don't place ink on the excess area and we right away print data which is required. The panels, we screen, scuffs and the placement prints. It's really efficient, fast process.
What does that do? You do not reckon it should be. Because in a
Divided our 4 cycles of printing to finalize one print, one stand. We are now just going through the final run after our stands. So the whole process is very efficient. It's much faster than physical sampling, and frankly, it's more accurate than physical sampling.
Okay? Any questions? Stop by. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It's an honor having you here. And to show our gratitude, I'd like to request Mr. Chandan Saha to come up on the stage and present you with a token of appreciation, a Livestraw Go bottle. Please put your hands together. A portion of the proceeds of consumer sales for any Livestraw product anywhere in the world goes towards the purchase of Livestraw community purifiers, which are distributed to schools in different developing communities. Each consumer purchase provides one school child in a developing community with safe water for an entire school year. Moving forward, for today's seminar, the discussion panel will cover 2 sections of the agenda. The theme for the first half is going to be manufacturing challenges for athleisure and active sportswear. And the discussion theme for the second half will cover markets and opportunities, athleisure and active sportswear. Active sportswear are very technical garments as they also contribute to the best performance of the wearer on the sports field. A well-manufactured piece can help support your body performance while a bad one can hinder it. So let's start with the panel discussion 1, Athleisure and Active Sportswear Manufacturing Challenges. Our moderator for this session is going to be, and I welcome you on stage, sir, Mr. Kingshuk Pandit, owner, proprietor, Aim King International, Noida, and Vice President, Tantu. Mr. Pandit has worked in various companies in fabric garment field in India and abroad and have been running his own business Inking International in Delhi on yarn and fabrics. He is a pass out of textile engineering in the year 1990 from Serampore College and did his MBA from IIFT Delhi in the year 1993. Please put your hands together for Mr. Kingshuk Pandit.
Should I help you? Good morning, everybody. I'm Kingshuk Pandit, welcoming you, all of you, to the first session of our this seminar. And we'll be purely focusing on the manufacturing area. We have about 5 speakers who will be speaking you on that subject, roughly about an hour or so, 60 minutes. After that, we'll have about 10 minutes or 15-minute session thrown open to the audience for the questions. I will request all of you, if you have any questions to ask, don't ask during that discussion. You can write it down on the page and a paper that you have and pass on that question. And once we finish the discussion, then we will throw open to the audience. This panel of discussion will be not a monologue discussion. It is basically a discussion among the speakers. I'll be asking the questions of this industry, and then they'll be speaking on that topics. I request all of you to welcome. I'll be calling one by one to the stage, and please give your hands together. I'll be first calling Mr. Roshan Bed, Managing Director, Alsis India. He's one of the example of Made in India brand. All of you know that he is an official sponsor of FIFA 2018 and Underworld FIFA 2017 in India. Indian brand Made in India is a sponsor of FIFA. You can understand this thing. Roshan Bed is an IIFT alumni and is a Managing Director at the Alsis Sports and founder of Paragon Apparels, an Indian hosiery and apparel manufacturing company. Paragon has started in 1999 with 15 machines, and today Paragon has more than 2,000, 5,000 employees, 4 production units, and a production output of 9 million units per year of a turnover of USD 65 million. In fact, Paragon is the biggest polyester sportswear manufacturer in the country. Mr. Bed has forayed into the consumer retail market with Alsis Sports. He intends to make Alsis Sports the biggest athleisure sportswear brand for the sports and fitness enthusiasts. The company has a vision to make Alsis Sports the most innovative yet affordable brand and has set a benchmark in the sports retail industry. Let's put your hand together to welcome Mr. Bed to the... Next in line is Mr. Bhupender Singh, Chief Production Officer, Wildcraft India. Bhupender Singh, always inventing, making and rearranging and boosting the new ideas, is an astute professional with 18 years of experience in the product design, creation, sourcing and technical. He brings with him the rich global expertise in the market insights, product design, and development and sourcing. His involvement in helping build Wildcraft has gone beyond the traditional CPO role and has been more of an entrepreneurial one, leading Wildcraft to add completely new categories of footwear and apparel with a growth rate of 177% and overall growth of 35% plus year to year, and established itself as a leading brand in outdoor selling more than 3 million pieces annually. We welcome Mr. Bhupender Singh to the stage. Next in line is from outside India, Ms. Indu Sharma, Director Production, Activewear, Delta Gully, USA. Indu Sharma is an IIFT alumni and started her career in product development and manufacturing. She has worked all areas of the business ranging from merchandising to sales, operations with emphasis on product development, sourcing and production. She was a leading member of the team that launched the Calvin Klein performance license for the Omen 2008 New York. She was also involved in the rollout of the retail stores under the same name, Calvin Klein Performance, in US and China. She was part of the core team that helped Dillard build sourcing strategy. She has set up the sourcing of outerwear and home textile and hard goods category of Delia and set up a subsidiary office in William A. Connor Associates in Chennai. Over the years, she has worked with prestigious brands in diverse fields. Please welcome her to the stage. Next, we welcome Mr. Dipankar Shekri, Production Process Manager, Decathlon India. Dipankar is working with Decathlon for last 10 years, and he is passionate about running, swimming, and team sports. Presently, he is working as heavy stitching India process leader, managing different types of business process linked to the stitching family like bags, sleeping bags, horse riding textile, umbrellas, etc. Overall involvement in development, managing vendors, and team taking care of components and fabrics to the finished goods with respect to making sure products are made under the sustainable working place and developments, productions are aligned with the users. Please welcome. And the last in the line, we welcome probably the youngest member of our team is Sanchit Khurana, founder of Pace Athletica India. Sanchit is an industrial and system engineer from the University of Southern California. With a penchant for the best systems and practices prevailing across the industry, he is the director, operations at Knitcraft Apparel International, a vertically integrated textiles and garment export conglomerate supplying high-end fashion garments to Ralph Lauren, Nautica, Tommy Hilfiger, and Superdry, etc. He is also heading the Pace Athletica, the company's fast fashion athleisure and active sportswear level, where he aims at marketing and distributing the Indian market at the value-driven price points. Please welcome. Okay, let me start asking this question one by one. It may not be a continuous speaking. You can speak and then I'll go to the next speaker and then maybe I'll come back to one by one on them. And you can also add on when one speaker is speaking, once he finishes, if you had something to add on, you can add on that product. I will start with, of course, with the Indian-made brand, Alsis India, for the FIFA sponsor, the India-made product. I just wanted to ask you, because you have Paragon Apparels already doing the normal garmenting, this thing. What makes you think, or what draws you to that sportswear or athleisure product from the manufacturing point of view? What gives you an extra?
We have always been manufacturing sportswear for the last 17, 18 years. And what made me look, India is still looked as a cotton supplying country to the world. And very few of us know that more than 60% of the world trade happens in man-made fiber. And India doesn't contribute much to that category. So definitely there was a space available in that category. And we started manufacturing sportswear out of India. Now we are vertically integrated. And finally, we have started our own brand. We feel that the behavioral patterns of Indian consumers are also changing, as it is changing worldwide. Everybody is moving towards fitness, health consciousness. That's the mantra all over the world. And if we talk about all major brands in the world, be it Zara, be it H&M, they have created their huge sportswear line. And this is the trend. Athleisure has become the buzzword in the fashion industry now. And almost all brands have some presence in this category. So this phenomena has also come into the Indian market, where we are also very conscious about our health. We see those runner groups sprouting all over the places. We see gyms coming up. So the behavioral pattern of Indian consumer is also changing a lot. So this is where Alsis came in. And till now, most of our sportswear market or the athleisure market is dominated by international players, which is not much affordable to the regular Indian customers. And their designs are also such that they cater to a international or a premium kind of a segment. So India is much beyond that. It is much bigger than that, much beyond the only the premium segment. Even everybody wants to be fit now. So that's where Alsis comes in. And we try to cater to the Indian tastes, the Indian colors. I keep joking, the international brands mainly work on blacks, grays, and whites. 80% of the range is finished. India is not that black and white. India is much more colorful. So that's what Alsis is all about. We are much more colorful. We are very, very different from these international brands. And we want to make India a fitter country now.
I just wanted to ask you a similar question. What makes you think that you can make Athleisure or Active Sportswear? Is it because of your association with the sportswear brand for USA, or because of Paragon Apparel's manufacturing capability?
Manufacturing.
Which is more?
Look, manufacturing is a huge, huge plus for us, because sportswear is not like any other apparel. It needs some special techniques, some special fabrics. So manufacturing is a big strong point for Paragon, for its brand, of course. And but yes, we have our own challenges in terms of manufacturing. It's quite new in India, and I think manufacturing is the backbone of any sportswear brand.
So you mean to say that Paragon Apparel's experience has given you more power than the...
Absolutely. It's a no-brainer, actually.
Nice. But the technology that your company is using, like Air Vitex, Litex, Ice Tech, Oxy-Dry, those are the technologies you've taken it from the Nike and this thing, or it is like self-developed?
So if you call moisture management, Nike uses a dry fit for it. Adidas uses a Climalite for it. Reebok uses a play dry for it. And Mr. Jana just said there are more than 70 different names for the same technology.
Yes.
My technologies are also similar.
Yes.
But we use some very special fabrics for those technologies. But these are, yes, generic technologies patented by different companies for different products. So we also use these technologies for because after all, a man-made fiber can be turned into a lot of different things by giving a technology upgrade on them. So that's what we have done in these products.
Let me ask you a follow-up question on that. India is not known for making polyester, nylon, or synthetic fabrics. What makes you so special